Hello, welcome to Budget Slack. I'm Spencer Osborne, and I will be guiding you through as your Slack master today. Budget Slack originates in the incentives that firms give to managers to exceed their budget expectations. If a manager can come in under budget, then the firm will reward them. However, this makes managers more likely to request more money than they actually need, so that they can come in under budget. This can produce inefficiencies for the firm, and as we shall see, also can create ethical dilemmas in the relationships between the manager and those people around him involved in the budget. Budget creation is not generally a single person affair. A manager that wants to create slack in his allocated portion of resources must interact with other accountants. This can result in pressure being placed on those accountants to increase their budget expectations as a result of pressure from their supervisor. In a study done, including 77 different managerial accountants, 86% of the accountants in the study said that they thought it was unethical for budget slack to be included in budget expectations. However, the study also showed that almost a third of those same accountants would be willing to compromise with their boss regarding the inclusion of that budget slack. Based on the factors that we've already looked at, it may appear that soliciting input from managers may not be the best thing for a firm to do when they're creating a budget. As we've seen, managers have an inherent incentive to pad their own budget or pressure others to pad the budget for them. However, top-down budgeting also has its own issues. Managers are more aware than their superiors about the actual numbers of resources that they're going to need to do their own job, and they may feel unsatisfied if they're allocated less than what they actually need. Further, there can be pressure placed on their superiors when they complain about not getting what they need, and then the supervisor feels like that he either needs to deflect that bad feeling onto the firm and the firm's policies, or he may just be pressured to build in a little bit of slack for his subordinates, which would defeat the whole purpose of the tightness of a budget that you can get when you are dictating from the top down. A firm that is struggling with budget slack may be benefited by introducing transparency and competition into their organization. If managers were able to see what their fellow managers were requesting for their budgets, then they would be less likely to ask for significantly more than their peers. This is because they would appear to be incompetent or at least less able than their peers to do their jobs with the same amount of resources. Additionally, this would reduce or eliminate the pressure in the top-down budgeting scenario we talked about earlier, where there was pressure being placed from subordinates onto superiors, because it would be self-imposed by different managers on the same level, competing with each other as peers. To sum up, budget slack comes from the different incentives and pressures felt by those who are making and keeping budgets. The negative impacts of these pressures and incentives can be mitigated by companies that introduce information and competition into their organization.